Year 1939. The world descends into fire. Europe collapses into chaos as armies march and cities ignite. For 6 long years, civilization will teeter on the edge of extinction. Technology and ideology combine into something monstrous, a machine that kills faster than any plague in history. 75 million lives will vanish. But the battlefield is only half the story. The rest is cruelty, calculated and cold. The rest are crimes. The Holocaust. Year 1941. Germany turns murder into mathematics. The final solution: a genocide written on paper, stamped with seals, scheduled by trains. Across Europe, deportation orders fill offices. Families ripped from homes at midnight, herded onto cattle cars, their names replaced by numbers. Auschwitz, Treblinka, Sobibor, Belzec. Each one a factory designed to erase evidence that people ever lived. Zyklon B hisses through vents. 2,000 dead in minutes. Ovens roar. Ash drifts over nearby villages like gray snow. Hair is sold for textiles. Teeth melted for gold. Human remains become raw material for war. At Auschwitz, Dr. Josef Mengele experiments on twins, injecting dyes into eyes, swapping organs, sewing children together. He calls it science. The world calls it evil. By 1945, 6 million Jews are gone. Alongside them, Roma, Slavs, the disabled, homosexuals, political prisoners. The Holocaust is not a burst of rage. It's bureaucracy perfected, murder by spreadsheet. The Rape of Nanking. Year 1937. Before the war officially begins, Japan invades China. Nanking falls and hell arrives on Earth. For 6 weeks, the Imperial Army unleashes terror. 200,000 civilians slaughtered. Victims used for bayonet drills, set on fire, buried alive. Officers compete for head count kills in local newspapers. 80,000 women raped, many in front of their families. The Yangtze River turns red with blood. Even Nazi observers record their horror. One man, John Raab, a German Nazi, organizes a safety zone. He saves 250,000 lives. When a Nazi is the hero, the world has lost its compass. Total war from the sky. Year 1939 to 1945. The air becomes the new battlefield, and the line between soldier and civilian disappears. London burns under the Blitz. Families huddle in subway tunnels. As bombs pound the streets above, 40,000 die in 9 months. Hamburg, year 1943, Operation Gomorrah. Incendiaries turn the city into a storm of fire. Winds reach hurricane speed. People melt into asphalt trying to flee. Then Dresden, a city of refugees, erased overnight. 30,000 dead as the sky itself ignites. March 1945, Tokyo. Napalm falls from B-29 bombers onto a wooden city. Flames race faster than people can run. 100,000 perish in a single night. World War II becomes the first war where civilization bombed itself. The sky was the judge, and no one was innocent. The atomic age. August 1945. The war nears its end, but the horror peaks. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. 2 flashes brighter than the sun. In seconds, 200,000 lives erased. People vaporize, leaving shadows burned into concrete. Children wander, skin hanging like cloth. The rivers boil. Radiation seeps into soil and bloodlines. Cancer and birth defects linger for generations. The bombs end the war, but open the age of extinction. Humanity wins and loses on the same day. The Bataan Death March. Year 1942. The Philippines. 75,000 Allied prisoners captured, forced to march 65 miles through blistering heat, without food, without water. Guards laugh as men collapse. Those who stumble are shot. Those who ask for water are bayoneted. 7,000 die before reaching the camps. Inside, the torment continues. Starvation, beatings, tropical disease. Out of every 10 prisoners, 4 never come home. For the captors, mercy is weakness. For the captives, survival is defiance. Unit 731. At the same time, far to the north, Japan builds a different kind of weapon, knowledge without morality. Unit 731, a water purification unit in name only. In truth, it's a biological warfare laboratory run by General Shiro Ishii. Chinese civilians, Korean captives, and Allied soldiers become test subjects. They're infected with plague, cholera, and anthrax. Vivisected alive, no anesthesia. Limbs frozen and thawed to study gangrene. Eyes burst under pressure tests. Some are dissected conscious to watch organs fail. 200,000 people die here. After the war, the United States grants Ishii and his team immunity. In exchange for their research, justice traded for data. Soviet revenge. Year 1944 to 1945. The Red Army pushes west. The hunters become the hunted. After years of Nazi brutality, Soviet soldiers take revenge in kind. Cities fall not once, but twice, first to Germany, then to vengeance. 2 million German women are raped from Poland to Berlin. Children, elders. It doesn't matter. For many, suicide becomes mercy. No army leaves war unchanged. Some come home with medals, others with ghosts that never sleep. The Siege of Leningrad. Year 1941 to 1944. Leningrad endures the longest siege in modern history. 872 days cut off from the world. Rations fall to 125 grams of bread a day, half of it made from sawdust. People eat wallpaper paste, boil leather, gnaw on frozen glue. When the food runs out, they eat the dead. 1 million civilians perish, one every 40 seconds. Yet the city never surrenders. When relief finally comes, survivors emerge as walking skeletons. They have won, but at a cost beyond measure. Slavery and forced labor. Across occupied Europe, the Nazis build their empire on the backs of slaves. 12 million people, men, women, children, forced to labor in mines, factories, and farms. At Auschwitz, a sign reads, Arbeit macht frei, work sets you free. A cruel promise. Work sets no one free. It only kills slower than gas. Meanwhile, in Asia, the Japanese Empire enslaves thousands of women as comfort women, 50 to 200,000 from Korea, China, the Philippines. Forced into military brothels, used nightly, discarded when sick. Few ever return home. Many never speak again. Ethnic cleansing, year 1944. Stalin begins his own purges. Entire ethnic groups vanish overnight. Chechens, Crimean Tatars, Volga Germans. Trains packed with families rumble east into Siberia. No food, no heat. A quarter die before arrival. At the same time, Hitler's General Plan Ost envisions a new world. Eastern Europe emptied of Slavs, repopulated by Germans. Millions die before the plan collapses. After year 1945, vengeance changes hands. 14 million ethnic Germans are expelled from Eastern Europe. Up to 2 million die on the road from hunger, cold, and revenge. War ends on paper, but killing never stops when hatred is inherited. Liberation. Year 1945. Allied soldiers breach the gates of hell. They expect battle. They find death factories. At Buchenwald, Dachau, Auschwitz, skeletons stumble out of barracks. Stacks of shoes reach the ceiling. Piles of hair fill entire rooms. The air smells of ash and decay. For many liberators, the sight changes them forever. This is not victory. This is revelation. The war exposed what humanity can become when obedience replaces conscience. Judgment, year 1946, Nuremberg. For the first time in history, leaders of a nation are tried for crimes against humanity. 22 Nazis stand before the world. 7 doctors are hanged for medical atrocities. Others vanish into the post-war world. Some join Western research programs. In the East, Soviet torturers face no court at all. Unit 731 scientists are quietly pardoned. Their findings become the basis for modern biological warfare research. Justice, uneven and incomplete. The trials declare one principle: following orders is no defense, but principles cannot resurrect the dead. Aftermath. The Second World War ends with 85 million dead. 3% of the planet erased. Entire cities flattened. Empires dissolved. Borders redrawn in blood. Out of the ruins rise the United Nations, the Red Cross renewed, and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But even as nations promise never again, wars continue in Korea, Vietnam, Rwanda, Syria. The echoes of year 1939 still shake the walls of today. World War II gave humanity the jet engine, radar, antibiotics, and the nuclear bomb. It proved progress and destruction often march hand in hand. We like to believe civilization is stable, that decency prevails. But history whispers otherwise. All it takes is fear, obedience, and silence. And the machine starts again. Every generation inherits this warning. The graves of World War II are not ancient history. They are mirrors. Every time we say never again, somewhere someone begins to forget. The guns stop. The echoes remain. This was humanity's darkest hour, and the shadow it left behind.